Welcome to Close Encounters on Frontier Television, your rising channel of the Northeast. That's fast, fair, and fearless.
Beginning his career in active politics from Ampati in Meghalaya's Garo Hills, Dr. Mukul Sangma added many feathers to his cap. From an independent MLA, Dr. Mukul climbed the ladder of success, with focus to make a difference for the people he represents. Dr. Mukul has defined for himself that change is constant. At 45, Dr. Mukul Sangma was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Meghalaya. He is perhaps one of the youngest Chief Minister of the country. There is no looking back for him, as he continues to move ahead championing the cause of the people in Meghalaya. Development and reforms is what makes Dr. Mukul Sangma a politician par excellence. In close encounter with Manoranjana Sinh, Dr. Sangma details out his plan and visions for Meghalaya as the state is set for the upcoming assembly elections.
Today's close encounter is with one of India's youngest chief ministers, Dr. Mukul Sangma. An MBBS doctor turned MLA at the age of 27 and a chief minister at the age of 45 only. Meghalaya, the abode of clouds, is best known for the picturesque Shillong, once known as the Scotland of the East. But in politics, Meghalaya is known for its political instability. Meghalaya is all set for its 10th assembly elections due in February. Since Meghalaya became a new state in 1972, there have been frequent change of guards, with at least 28 chief ministers having been sworn in. And that's quite a record. Pleasure today to have Dr. Mukul Sangma with us today on Frontier TV.
It's a pleasure from my side too.
Dr. Mukul, you were sworn in as chief minister after a political upheaval in Meghalaya in 2010, when the Congress became a divided house. One faction was led by Dr. D.D. Lapang and the other one by you. Dr. Lapang was a senior congressman, 5 times chief minister, and always singing praises of you. You were young, dynamic, and you had enough time on hand. Why did you need to upstage Lapang and step into his shoes? Are you by nature an aggressive politician?
To be really frank, I never upstaged anybody. In fact, it was a circumstance which actually paved the way for me to be sworn in as the chief minister. I have been with Lapangji until the time when the High Command decided actually for the change of guard. So I wasn't responsible for the upstaging of Dr. Lapangji. I had the privilege of working with him for a long time, and we worked together, and we have tried to contribute as much as possible for the people of the state, for ensuring the kind of growth we wanted together. And it's a different thing that there was a situation where the change of guard was required, and eventually, because of the inevitable circumstances, enabled me to take charge of the post of chief minister.
But the Congress then was a divided house, wasn't it?
It was divided house. That was the reason why there was change of guard. But at the same time, the first focus that we had was to ensure that there is no repetition of instability for which our state is so infamous. But at the same time, on the first day when I assumed office, after I addressed the people of the state as I assumed my office on the first day, the usual kind of question which I expected of course came in, which was, how can you do this since there are bound to be instability? My candid reply was that when each one of us are committed to focus on the developmental agenda, which has been skipping the people of the state, then there is no room for instability. So the idea was to ensure that our focus is development centric, people centric, to ensure an inclusive growth of the state.
Dr. Sangma, do you consider yourself lucky as a politician and that stars have always favored you? In a state like Meghalaya, where there is a change in guard every now and then, You've survived almost 3 years as Chief Minister, and you are leading the state to yet another election.
I always found pleasure in serving the people, and it doesn't matter what was the kind of position that I held. I tried to ensure that I do justice to the position I hold. Every hour that I have in my hand, under my control, I utilize them for the purpose of serving the people, serving the state. That was the reason why probably at the end of the day, all my colleagues had confidence on me, and that's how my name emerged to be the one to lead the government.
Are you a popular Garo leader or a popular Meghalaya leader? You're often accused of working more for the Garo community than the Khasi Jaintia people.
I go by the principle and ideology of the party to which I proudly belong to, and that is Indian National Congress. And tell me any other party in this whole country which has got pan-India appeal, which is acceptable to all sections of people, irrespective of caste, creed, and community. Therefore, I take pride in being the member of this political party which is acceptable to each citizen of this great nation. Therefore, I have no sense of belonging to only one particular community, and when I am holding a position to serve the state, I serve the state in totality. I do not look at only one community to be the target of my service.
But you're often accused to be, inclined towards working for the Garo people and less for the Jaintia and Khasi people. Is that true?
There can be allegations. There can be allegations, but the ground reality, which is visible at the moment, will speak for itself. The fact is that from the first day onwards that we took charge of the issue of governance, our focus was to ensure that there is an uniform development across the state. I personally have a strong feeling about the kind of environment that we need to create if we want to make our democracy strong, vibrant, and sustainable. There is always a threat to the kind of vibrant democracy that we profess if there are sense of discrimination prevailing amongst different sections of people. Therefore, the focus of this government has been to ensure that as we embark upon various developmental programs, there is no program which is implemented in a manner which will create sense of or the perception of discrimination.
In terms of development, can you make a comparison between what you have done for Garo Hills district and what you have done for the Khasi Jaintia Hills districts?
Let me talk about the Pan Meghalaya programs first, which is basically going to completely change the socio-economic landscape of the state. The huge investment that we have been able to bring in the infrastructure sector across the state is something which is visible. Projects which have been in the pipelines for decades, which are not seeing the light of the day of actually fructifying, were actually made visible. Today, as you travel across the state, you will see them. I remember when in 1993, when I was first elected as the MLA, as a member of the state legislature, when I was the youngest MLA at that point of time, amongst the first batch of issues that I took up in the assembly as an legislator, amongst other was the issue of having a road connecting my part of the state, which is West Garo Hills, connecting Tura with Shillong across West Khasi Hills and East Garo Hills. Because even now, in absence of this road, people from Garo Hills have to actually come to Shillong by by taking a circuitous route through Assam. But it is also an irony that the issue which I took up after I was elected in 1993, the same project has to be sanctioned only after I became Chief Minister in 2010. This is an irony though, but this is a project which is going to completely transform the socio-economic landscape of the state. This is for the people of the state, not for a particular community of the state. Right. This is one. Another one is the much talked about Shillong bypass. Today we are in a position to not only get the scheme sanctioned, which was hanging fire for the last 25 years, but ultimately we will be dedicating this project this year before the Christmas, and this was the first project in the whole of Northeast, a project of this magnitude, which would be commissioned 1 year ahead of the time schedule, 1 year ahead of the timelines.
The Shillong bypass.
Shillong bypass. And this project is going to benefit not only the people of Meghalaya, this project is going to benefit the people of Barak Valley region of Assam, people of Tripura, people of Mizoram, also the people of Manipur. I was quite impressed with the kind of response we received from the Honorable Prime Minister and his team of ministers in the Union Cabinet, with the blessings of our leader, President AICC, Madam Sonia Gandhi ji. I recollect today that the first day when I met the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, with the list of programs which were pending for consideration by Government of India, in respect of all these projects which I am referring to. After 3 months when I met him again with a list of programs, I had to only go and tell him, thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, because all the programs that were submitted for you for the consideration of sanction have all been given. And we have to go back with a new list of proposals.
So all the projects that you brought to the notice of the Prime Minister were sanctioned, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that is one thing. Apart from many other smaller projects which are in the form of interstate connectivity, which are in the form of the various projects considered to be important, I recollect in 2004, there was a meeting held in Shillong at the Pinewood Hotel, which was attended by the then Honorable Union Minister MORTH. So T.R. Balu attended. Then I was a minister, I was actually also looking after PWD. There we took certain resolutions. The resolutions were basically based on our demand that why should the east-west corridor, which was earlier designed to pass through Shillong, had to be shifted, thereby leaving Shillong outside the east-west corridor. And subsequent to that, we wanted that all the state capitals of the Northeast must be invariably connected by 4-laning, number one. Number two, all the district capitals in the different districts of the northeastern states must also be connected by 2-lane roads. There is no room for any of my detractors, any of my adversaries to say that this government has not been looking after the interests of all areas of the state. In fact, we have been having pan-Meghalaya approach. Our understanding is that if I have to take pride by being a Meghalayan, that Meghalaya is developed, Meghalaya is different, Meghalaya is capable of providing opportunities for all sections of people, irrespective of age, young, man, woman, then every part of the state must be developed. People across the state, wherever they are, must have that perception that the government is capable of addressing issues vis-a-vis their aspirations and expectations. And that is exactly the commitment which we gave on the first day when I assumed office, and we are keeping our promises.
That was Dr. Mukul Sangma's defense on how he's not just a Garo leader, he's a pan-Meghalaya leader. We'll take a break now and we'll come back to Dr. Sangma after the break.
Thank you.